love the way those fish are shoaling.
Let's start off with this beautiful scape here, shall we? So I think Yuri's did all of these. Classic Dragonstone Iwagumi. If you want to come in, people don't want to see me so much as the scape. Check out the shoulder Cardinal Tetras there, really beautiful. Yeah. Classic V-shaped kind of Iwagumi here. Really nice proportion, kind of 2/3, 1/3. Nice sort of path weaving in between. Yeah, very nice kind of Brazilian style Iwagumi. Really well trimmed plants there at the back. Dragonstone, it looks like various Rotala species in the background. We've got some dwarf hairgrass, some Ricardia. Beautiful. Let's have a look at this beautiful little nano here. This is really nice here. We've got this kind of artificial waterfall effect here. This is quite interesting here. And then there's actually backlighting here to give this vanishing point effect. Very clever. Sort of red lava stone, lots of epiphytes with lots of tiny fine textured epiphytes. These look absolutely beautiful and give this really great sense of scale. Got some purling Monte Carlo in the back there. Yeah, beautiful little nano tank. There's some cool, interesting kind of aqua decor products from Dennerle. Very nice. And then it's pretty busy booth, but real good. This is cute. So like a Dutch style, lots of stems, super healthy. And we've got more of a conceptual design here, quite hardscape dominated, cool backlight, coherent textures, simple but effective. Look, check out those, I love the way those fish are shoaling. Oh yeah, and this is a super lush, very stem plant heavy, super colourful, beautiful. Yeah, I'd say the scapes are stronger here on the Dennerle booth, but I'd say the plants are stronger on the Tropica booth. Let me know what you think in the comments. The aquascaping hobby in the future. I think there's going to be more of a crossover between other disciplines. So I think houseplants are becoming more popular, terrariums, paludariums, vivariums, and I think there's potential to cross all of these things with aquariums and aquascaping as a whole in terms of like a creative art that crosses nature and all of these other disciplines. It makes sense that aquascaping may incorporate more elements from these other natural or nature-inspired pastimes. So I think we'll see more open-top, shallow rimless aquariums with aquatic plants growing out the top, more emergent, you know, a hardscape coming out of the top. I think it's all about actually maybe bringing people even closer to nature. So at the moment, with an aquascape, it's a completely enclosed box. You know, sometimes it's got a lid. I think as the aquascaping hobby has evolved, we tend to be getting more and more closer to the actual aquascape, you know, by removing the lid, by having suspended lighting, floating plants and all this good stuff. So that's one direction it could go in. I think I'm kind of seeing that at the moment. I'm seeing a trend in a lot of small, really small, almost filterless, maybe even using window light, you know, really low energy, low tech kind of, not even aquariums really, you know, just sort of mini ponds. But they're still sustaining life, they're still growing plants, maybe even keeping invertebrates. So I think it's a really great way for maybe beginners to get into the hobby where they don't want to necessarily invest a lot of money outlay to start with, and they're afraid of, you know, taking up too much space, spending too much time maintaining it. So I think a good option is maybe to go for these like really small kind of vases, you know, shallow, tiny nano aquariums, and yeah, it's a really easy way to get into the hobby, still connect the people with nature, and then as they get more kind of inspired and comfortable and confident growing their plants and seeing this small ecosystem thrive, they may be more confident to take the next step and invest in a bigger aquarium system. So yeah, there's a couple of ideas for where the future might go.
What about the aquascapers like yourself? What's the role they should be playing?
As a full-time aquascaper, I see my role as a messenger of aquascaping, and that's kind of evolved over the years. It used to be very, sort of 10 years ago, used to be very dedicated towards the actual how-to aquascape. A very kind of methodical process of empty aquarium, substrate, hardscape plants, you know, a very kind of step-by-step process, and a kind of you know, literally hundreds of articles, videos doing this. And I think the kind of common knowledge is out there. I've written a book about it, I've done podcasts, countless videos. So I feel like I've done my kind of time in explaining to people the basics of how to aquascape. And now I feel for me as personally as an aquascaper, I can't talk for other aquascapers, but I feel I have a calling really to educate and inspire folk, not just how to aquascape, but think about more deeply why they're going to be aquascaping. What can they get out of it in terms of you know, therapeutic value, just the joy of seeing something grow, seeing something that's going to reward you proportionately to the amount of effort that you're putting into it. You know, this is a really great, I think it's a really great life lesson, in fact. And you know, if you have a younger family, you know, these life lessons that can be really important to the new generations of potential aquarium keepers and aquascapers. How has aquascaping changed since I've known it? I think for me personally, there's two ways to look at it. Is that how has aquascaping changed, or how has my relationship with aquascaping changed? So I think if we look at the first one as how has aquascaping evolved, it's become a lot more accessible in terms of the knowledge and the equipment required to achieve a successful aquarium. So it's very easy to buy a CO2 kit, liquid fertilizer, soil, decent hardscape, decent quality plants. All of the ingredients necessary to create a beautiful aquarium are very, very accessible in almost all the countries now across the world. So that's great news. With that increase in accessibility of the actual equipment, there's an increase in availability of information, and with the internet you can learn almost anything for free now, but with that becomes there is an element of potential confusion, conflicting sources of information, and so the beginner aquascaper could potentially be put off or intimidated. So this is why it's important, in my opinion, for the beginner to maybe align themselves with a couple of credible and highly recommended sources. You know, the Tropica Aquarium Plants website, YouTube channel, my own website, YouTube channel, Instagram, you know, all of these social media platforms, but try to kind of stick to, you know, 2 or 3 maybe experienced, credible sources. Maybe join a forum, UCAPS forum, UK Aquatic Plant Society, ucaps.org, shameless plug, great resource. But yeah, the increase in availability of products and knowledge has been a great thing for aquascaping, but I think we need to be careful and ensure that aquascaping kind of remains true to what I feel it should be true to, and that is representing a slice of nature from outside, maybe, depending on the style of aquascape, but basically having something within your care that you feel a sense of responsibility for, that you want to nourish and see thrive, because actually the more, like I said this earlier, the more effort and energy you put into something that you care about, the more that fulfills you with a sense of, I'm actually doing something purposeful here. You know, I'm actually having a positive impact on something here, and that's a result of my hard work, my energy, you know, my investment. So that getting that kind of message across is key. And I'm massively rambling and gone off a tangent there. But for me, it's just a really great opportunity to showcase aquascaping to the trade. You know, I'm used to showcasing aquascaping to hobbyists, but actually to inspire the trade is arguably maybe even more important, because then they can take the baton and inspire hopefully the end users, the hobbyists. So it's a really great opportunity to, like I say, connect with the customers, inspire them, and show off beautiful aquascapes like we've got here on the Dennerle plants booth.